Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're fine. I hope you had a great game week 34 and I hope you're having a great FPL season, guys. And I just decided to start the stream 5 minutes early because I thought it's just a wildcard week and I guess we'll have more questions to contend with. And we start with I'll just talk about my team in like 5 seconds because there's nothing much to talk about. So I picked Trent Alexander-Arnold over Virgil van Dijk, I guess. Backfired. Pickford on the bench. Tarkowski on the bench. Captain Salah did not work. Eze Matata obviously did work. McBurney, obviously, there's like 10 like different better options than him, but he didn't play the United game. He was injured at the end of that first game after missing a glorious chance. So it was a hot and cold free hit for me. I was happy in the first half of the free hit and not so happy in the second half, but still the overall rank is like close to 300k, so we're making slow progress. So that's all about my own team. I don't want to discuss too much, and let's move on to the wildcard. So guys, before I get started with my wildcard, first let me see how many people are actually watching the stream right now, so we can actually talk about some relevant stuff. So guys, I've decided that from now on I'm going to discuss which book I'm currently reading, and I also would like to encourage all of you to kind of read books and don't spend too much time on social media, guys. Don't spend too much time on like focusing on things which are not concerning you, like just scrolling through shorts all day long, watching Instagram, watching other people having fun and envying them. Spend your time on reading books and to like make yourself a better personality, a better to make your mental health better. So I've decided every week I'm going to tell you at the start of the stream that which book I've been reading this week. So last week, as I told you on the stream, that I've finished reading this book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It was a fantastic book. It was by George Clason. And this week I'm reading Best Loser Wins by Tom Hogarth. And as soon as I finish this, I've got my next book ready as well. So please do spend time reading books, guys. And this is why I started the stream 5 minutes early, because I wanted all of you to tell all of you to work on your mental health and your mental well-being, guys. Focus away from the social media. Focus on yourself. Try to make yourself as a better person. Just wanted to talk about this. Now let's come back to what the stream is really about. It's about FPL. So yeah. Hey Lightrays, hey Milo Taff, and hey Michael. Welcome to the stream, guys. So Milo Taff says, good morning, Wiz. I've gone for Vicari over Petrovic. I'm concerned Sanchez will get a start over Petrovic. What's your thoughts? I mean, obviously that is quite possible, Milo Taff, but picking Vicario I don't think is the solution, because Tottenham hardly ever keep a clean sheet, if ever, so I mean, if you want to go for a different keeper, I guess Ederson is the better option to go for. I mean, Petrovic, people are just picking him because he's got 2 double game weeks, right? And there's just giving a person more chance, maybe save points, maybe just things add up, and maybe he can sneak in a clean sheet here or there. But yeah, I mean, if you're concerned about Sanchez, you can go with Vicario. But I hardly think Spurs keep a clean sheet. This is just not a good option right now in the keeping department. Ederson doesn't have a double game week this week, so if you want to pick him, that's fine. Obviously, we needed 2 playing keepers for the bench boost, so I can give you a different alternative. I mean, if you want to drop Dan Burn for somebody like Guardiola, you can pick Dubravka alongside Ederson, so that is also a possibility. But if you want to pick Vicario, that's totally up to you. Lighter says I did the same. Cheers, man. So Michael says, hey Wiz, I have bench boost and wait for game week 37 and wildcard 35. What's your best? See, I think if you think about my best 15, I guess I'd pick if I had the money, I'd pick Fabian Schär over Dan Burn, I guess. And if I had some more money, I'd possibly pick a double Arsenal defense over Reguilon. I'd pick maybe Ben White or Saliba over Reguilon. That's about it. I think that's what I would do. Otherwise, it's fine. I mean, if you have like more money to burn, I would possibly like think about getting maybe Kevin De Bruyne in place of Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, these are the 2 moves or 3 moves which I would consider if I had more money. These are obviously ideal because nobody has that much budget. But if you can stretch your budget, obviously somebody like Delo over Maguire if you want. I mean, that's not a huge upside. I mean, obviously Maguire gave an assist and scored a goal in the last game week, so you never know how these things pan out. But strategically, I mean, I would possibly pick Fabian Schär over Dan Burn if I had the money, pick Delo over Maguire, and I would possibly pick Kevin De Bruyne over Bruno Fernandes if I had the money. But beyond that, I'm fine. Like, I picked the best team according to the budget which I had. Now, you might think, why do I have Sergio Reguilon in there, guys? So Sergio Reguilon is here only because of the fact that I need a player for game week 36, in which Reguilon now plays against Everton at home. Or is it away or home? I currently I don't remember. Just Everton. No. What am I talking about? Yeah, Fulham at home, not Everton away. So it's Fulham at home. So I want to give him a chance for this game because I like obviously my Tottenham defender I can't play because he plays against Liverpool away, right? I can't play him. Dan Burn, I might play him against Burnley away, but I don't think this is going to be an easy game at all because Burnley are in the relegation scrap and they'll try to win. I can't possibly play Maguire, or maybe can against Crystal Palace away. So there was no good defense, which is why I picked Reguilon against Fulham away. So it's just you just have to plan a little bit ahead so you don't book in your transfers. Obviously, I'm going to roll my transfer next week so that I can make 2 transfers before game week 37, or maybe just 1 transfer to replace Reguilon with somebody like a Van Bissaka or somebody who becomes available for the double game week in that sense, right? Maybe a Brighton defender, I don't know, maybe a Stupinan becomes available, or we get some more information about who starts and who doesn't, and so on and so forth. So it's all cool. CAV says we have the same 11. Well, it's cool, CAV. That just means that we have a similar budget. Surfro says, hey Vix, thanks for the book recommendation. Surfro, you're most welcome, bro. Please, everybody, do read books. I do want to reinforce that. I'm here. Obviously, we're talking about FPL, but we're like more than just an FPL community right now. We're like more like a family, and I just always want to tell you guys, always work on yourself, read about personal finance, grow in life, and read good books. Books are the wealth of knowledge, guys. These Instagram shorts, YouTube shorts, these Snapchats, they're taking your mind away from the realities of life. We don't want to live in a matrix. We don't want to live in a virtual life. We want to live in the reality of life, and reality is condensed into a book much better than it is in a YouTube video. So read books, guys. CAV says, I want to go differential, but feels like there are too many obvious picks. CAV, like, I think this combination is going to be a good differential, and now is not the time to go differential. The time to go differential would be when you use your free transfers. At that time, you might want to go differential. But right now, I think this is the optimized team. The only thing which I think you can do is maybe replace Nicholas Jackson against the yellow card stuff. You never know. He's got, I don't know how he escaped a red card, by the way, against Arsenal. This guy, man, oh my days. This guy is insane. This guy is absolutely insane. But yeah, I mean, if you want, you can go with Højlund over Jackson, because this guy misses so many chances, man. I'm picking with a heavy heart because there's not many good Chelsea options, unless and in midfield there are too many players which you want, and otherwise Nicholas Jackson, man, he missed so many chances in that game against Arsenal, and he missed so many chances as well in the game which was I think the game before that was against City in the FA Cup semi-final. No, he can't get suspended now, no. But the issue is, I think it's over for him. But it's not about the yellow cards anyway. It's about him not being able to finish his meal anyway. It's just, did you see how he missed chances against City, and then how he missed his chances against Arsenal? It's just unbelievable how such a striker is playing for Chelsea. You know, I mean, this season, guys, we've seen the height of missing big chances. Nicholas Jackson, Darwin Núñez, oh man, and on top of that, Spurs signed Timo Werner just to add to the mix, the people who can miss easy, crazy chances. So Premier League is full of these kind of players like Timo Werner, Nicholas Jackson, Darwin Núñez. You know, it's just that these guys just can miss from anywhere. You know, obviously it feels a bit less so with Darwin Núñez, but see that chance he missed against Everton. Just smacked the ball straight at Pickford, you know. If Liverpool would have gone into the lead, and that was a Salah assist as well. Man, Luis Diaz missed a chance, or Darwin Núñez. It's insanity. Hey Todd, welcome to the stream. Todd says, hey Wiz, hey everybody. It is 4 a.m. in Chicago. Wildcard is active. Cheers, Todd. I hope you have enough budget to go for somebody like a Fabian Schär over Dan Burn. Else, just you know, I think this is the kind of the optimized team. Jeevan says, I have a triple captainship. What is the best strategy for this game week? Wildcard or triple captain? I think wildcard is the strategy to go with this week, Jeevan. You know, and triple captain you can play in game week 37, and if you also have the bench boost, then you're gonna have to triple captain. Either triple captain this week and wildcard next week, or triple captain in game week 38. Wiz, would you sell Darwin to Action Jackson? Milotaf, I think I would. Liverpool don't even have the best fixtures, you know, and Jackson has got 2 double game weeks. It's just a no-brainer, you know, like I guess 6 games over 4. CAV says, I quite like Burn as a different option to Schär. Saves a bit of money. Schär seems to get a lot of... Schär does get a lot of knocks, I agree with you, but he also does get some bangers. You know, he scores a few goals. He has this long diagonal cross-field ball in him. So I think the avenues for Schär to get FPL points are more than for Dan Burn. But obviously, you know, if you spend like 1.2 million more, you're obviously gonna get something more as well. So yeah, it's a trade-off, CAV. I mean, it's, if you like Burn, it's fine. You can keep him. It's not an issue. Todd, if you want to go back to sleep and if you have any pertinent questions for me, just let me know and fix your team and go back to sleep. Don't worry about any early team. By the way, we've got a leak on Liverpool which says that Harvey Elliott is starting in place of Salah, and it was leaked by Anfield Inside. It was not like any random account, so it feels that that news is true. So if any one of you was thinking of going with Salah on your wildcard as a differential, I would possibly think about dropping him, guys. Neil Peterson says, good morning Wiz, free hit 34 went well. Good morning Neil, that's amazing, man. 142 points, Captain Eze. Cheers mate. 1 million to 525, that's awesome. Halving your rank in one game week feels surreal, doesn't it? Well done, mate. Well done. That's awesome. Burn could be a fullback in some games too, but agree Schär is better. Yeah, I mean, Burn, the only avenue I see Burn scoring some points is possibly from a header off a corner or a set piece, like a free kick, you know. But Schär has like other avenues as well. I possibly provide an assist from far away. You know, Burn hardly makes this overlapping run, so... But, you know, it's Sheffield United. You never know. The last time Newcastle played against Sheffield, you know how they dismantled them 8-0, right? And that was at their home. And now at home, Newcastle just dismantled Tottenham 4-0. So everybody's expecting them to do well again. I just hope for the best. I put 3 Newcastle players in which I could afford and just crossed my fingers. Now let's see what happens. That's all we can do, right? So yeah, this is all just the game of chance. It's all a game of chance. By the way, the Salah news is spreading, guys. Who would you want? who would you take out of your team if you really wanted KDB? I would take out Bruno Fernandes, Todd. Obviously, I would, ideally have Bruno and KDB both. But if I wanted to replace anybody, it would be Bruno Fernandes. CAV says, I'm only going to be starting Gabriel in game week 36 plus bench boost 37. In the same game week, City play Wolves at home and doubled in 37. Should I go with Walker? Well, if you don't have Ederson, if you already have 3 City players just like me, then obviously you can't go with Walker. Otherwise, you definitely can, CAV. I mean, I'm also just playing Gabriel for 36, and I've got Reguilon for 36 as well. I might possibly move Gabriel and Reguilon. Next week I'm going to roll my transfer, and then I'm possibly going to move Reguilon and Gabriel on for some double game week defenders, you know. So the plan is the same. Let's see who becomes available and what comes up. That's pretty simple, right? Neil says, took a -8. Darwin, Salah, Saka out. Isaac, Bruno Fernandes and Gordon. Alright, Neil. I mean, that looks decent, I guess. Salah's not starting anyway, so I mean that's the news. You know, I don't know what happens. Salah is not starting. Elliott is starting, guys. It has been confirmed by FPL Tony as well. Salah is not starting. Man, this is insanity. Some people took Salah on their wild card, but it's not working, is it? Anyways, CAV says no. Ederson, Pickford second keeper, may be blinded by his 18-pointer on the free hit and 18-pointer which was on the bench. I had James Tarkowski with 14 points on my bench and Pickford with 18 points on my bench, and I had Dean Henderson with 5 points in my team. Man, that hurt. That hurt so much. Picking Ollie McBurney on my free hit hurt. Putting Pickford on my bench hurt. You know, captaining Salah obviously hurt. It was a painful free hit, man. It was just the road not taken. Robert Frost. If you don't understand my if you don't understand the road not taken by Robert Frost analogy, then you need to start need to start reading more books, guys. You need to start reading more books. Ouch, I started him, he says, what are you in? I ended on 112 points and I was hurt a lot. It wasn't a good free hit, CAV. The 50-50s, they all went against me. Ollie McBurney missed a 1.2 xg chance at the start of the game and then got injured at the end of the first game, so he did not even play against United. And Brereton Diaz, who was on my bench, he scored 9 points. I mean, it was just what ifs and the road not taken for me this week. But it's alright, we move on. Salah and Tony to Son and Jackson or Isaac with a hit. Will wildcard next week, playing triple captain this week. Then I guess Salah to Son and Tony to if you're gonna triple captain next week, I guess Jackson then. He's got a double game week. Just because he's got a double game week. Otherwise, I think Isaac obviously is the better player. Salah to Son is definitely on. I think that's a no-brainer, bro. Definitely. Zara says, on the same boat with having Pickford and Tarkowski on my bench has reduced the gap between me and second place in my league. Too close now. Don't worry, Zara. Keep playing, keep plugging. It's all gonna be fine. My 3 Liverpool assets got me 10 points in a double game week. Man, that hurts, doesn't it? At least I got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who got 9 or 10 points, so I was at least thankful for something going my way. Man, that free hit was insanity. Anyways, we gotta move on from Liverpool now, guys. I mean, Liverpool, I think Klopp has just thrown in the towel. I guess the players have thrown in the towel a little bit, and he's dropped Salah for Elliott. So I guess it makes no sense in going with Liverpool players on a wild card now. I guess it's only between Arsenal and City. By the way, guys, I tweeted something which you might be interested in. If you see Nottingham Just a second. Where can I find my own tweets? Yeah. Just a second. Ta-da. Right. No, this. Yeah, Salah dropped. Yeah, by the way, you can have a look at this as well. I think this you'd find interesting. So Salah has been dropped for Elliott, and FPL Tony is confirmed. Now, by the way, I've retweeted it. So I posted this, guys. 3 teams in the relegation scrap. You know, like obviously I feel Sheffield United have already been relegated, so I don't concern about Sheffield United. But now Nottingham Forest on 26, Luton 25, and these are the like 19th, 20th, and 19th, 18th, and 17th placed teams. So now Nottingham are facing City. They're in a relegation battle, right? They're just like 1 spot, 1 point. They're just safe by 1 point, and they're facing City. So they're gonna try 2-0 to face City. And Luton against, if you think Ait Nouri is gonna get an easy game. You know, they're facing Wolves, and they're just 1 point behind Nottingham, who are facing City. So if Luton win and Nottingham lose, Luton go over them by 2 points. Same, Burnley is facing United, and if Burnley win and Nottingham lose, or if just maybe they draw, they can claw some places more. So relegation place, this last 2 places are still between 3 teams. Everton on 33 points are safe now. So we also need to keep this in mind when we are making our decisions, guys. Just don't make your decisions on the basis of the teams whose players you are owning. Also make the decisions on the basis of teams who they're going to be playing against. So look at City against Nottingham. I'm not sure if this is going to be an easy game for City. I think Nottingham is going to try everything to stop them from scoring. I don't know how, but they are. Brighton were like inviting City. They were like playing tippy-tappy in their own box, trying to invite City to score. I don't know what Brighton were thinking, what their manager was thinking, trying to play that way against City, starting Steele so that they could play out from the back. It was insanity, guys. Simple as that, right? So Luton game is not going to be easy for Wolves. And Burnley against United, I think United at home, they will beat Burnley, but it's not going to be easy, guys. So don't be thinking that, all right, let's start Maguire or Delo against Burnley and the clean sheet is fixed. By the way, I'm just going to retweet this right in front of you guys. Anyways, guys, enough about my Twitter. Let's just go back. Just wanted to show you this, just in case it helps anyone. If it doesn't, it's all good. Are you on a wildcard, Viz? Sorry. Had a Jota Trent in as well at one point, but others in my league didn't have Mateta, so still gained big time. Cheers, CAV. That's all that needs to be done, right? I'm on a wildcard, Thakif. Yes. Viz, what's going wrong for the Egyptian king? He's looked like a shadow of his former self and never got benched like this. Elliot wouldn't lace Salah's. It's not about Elliot lacing Salah's boots, my friend. I think it's about Salah's and Klopp's time coming to an end at the club. I feel Salah's going to move from Liverpool in the summer. He might go to Qatar or this Saudi league or whatever, and Klopp is going as well. So now I think he's thrown in the towel, and he's thinking that Liverpool are no longer competing for the league, and obviously they're going to qualify for the Champions League anyway. So it's just giving chance to the youngsters to play, I guess, to prove their mettle and to show how to fight for the shirt, because going away to Everton and losing for the first time for Klopp would have really hurt, losing that derby, because for example, Thierry Henry, people like Thierry Henry were really proud on their legacy that they never went to Tottenham and lost, so yeah, I mean, it's just these kind of things hurt managers more than we think. Abhijit says thoughts on Kukurea. Kukurea is alright. I mean, at least he's starting most of the games, Not a bad shout, to be honest with you, my friend. Attacking wise, he could have scored against Arsenal. He was like basically at one time the goal was gaping, and I don't know why he delayed his shot or why did not shoot better. But yeah, I mean, if you want, you can go with Kukurea. It's just I would have preferred Malo Gusto, but again, the yellow flags and all these knee issues, I just don't want to go with a defender who I don't feel is going to start all the games, so I went with Petrovic. But I think I agree with you. You've got this is a fair shout of going with Kukurea, because if Sanchez comes back, then Petrovic might get dropped, because the errors he made against Arsenal, especially for that was it the first goal? I think it was. He in his near post he got beaten. He didn't cover it pretty well. Trossard just shot at the first asking and he just scored. Oh, the counter is stuck. My bad. I'm sorry, Jugs. Guys, nobody of you reminded me. Why? Why do you do like that? Just a second, guys. I'm so sorry. I forgot to set the counter before I came on the stream. Right. Let me know if it is working now, Jugs. I'm trying to fix it. There you go. I think it's back, right? Yeah. Working now. Cheers. Cheers, guys. So we've still got 40 minutes, guys. I started the stream early today so that, I mean, if you had any questions on the wildcard, although it's all about the budget, it's not really about the questions on the wildcard. It's about the budget. It depends on how much money you have, and according to that, which players can you afford? Obviously, if you have more money than me, then you would go Share over Dan Burn, maybe Delo over Harry Maguire, kind of, you'll possibly get Ben White or Saliba in place of Reguilon. But these are some of the few changes that you can make. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne over Bruno Fernandes. This is the best team that I could afford, guys, because I did not have a very good team. I had a decent team value. I've built up some value on Palmer, and that is what it really contributes to my team value. So it did not really help me in getting better players, because I had some value built up in Saka and Salah, which I sold. So yeah, I mean, for me, this team looks fine. By the way, if you want to know why I picked Reguilon, guys, it's because of game week 36, in which I do not have a good defense. Tottenham is going to play against Liverpool, City obviously playing against Wolves, so I'll have Ederson from City. Arsenal playing against Bournemouth. I mean, if you see people's teams with a couple of Arsenal defenders, it's because they're picking them for game week 36 and they're gonna sell them after that. Nobody's gonna play double Arsenal defense against Manchester United away on a bench boost. I don't think that happens. Maybe they'll play one defender, I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna play two. And beyond that, I think everybody's thinking which defenders to play in game week 36. That's the decision. Guardiola or Walker, says Abhijit. I think Guardiola is more liable to be benched as compared to Kyle Walker. So if you're looking for more security, I guess Kyle Walker is the one to go for. If you're looking for an attacking threat, then I would go with Guardiola. Although the assist for Kevin De Bruyne's goal was by Walker, but in general terms, I think Guardiola is more attacking than Kyle Walker is. But he is less, guaranteed to start as compared to Walker. Surfro says, "Is any good alternative to Jackson?" I think you can go with Højlund if you want to. I mean, there's not many good strikers at this moment in time. Obviously, everybody would have had Isaac and Haaland. Beyond that, I mean, you can go with Højlund if you wanted to. Rashmish is a good option. The only problem is the wingers are just not feeding enough balls into him for him to score. But whenever he gets a chance, he's pretty ruthless, Højlund. So, I mean, and United have got a double coming up. You've got an okayish fixture against Burnley. So you can pick Rashmish as well if you don't want to go with Jackson. To be honest with you, I think if there's no other issues in your team, you can pick Jackson, whenever you give, it's just that he's not ruthless. He doesn't finish his chances. But, you give him 10 chances, he'll still score 1 or 2 goals. So you have to take a chance with 2 double game weeks against one. Can take a chance with Jackson. Although he missed amazing chances against Manchester City, he missed amazing chances against Arsenal. But Jackson is on 9 yellows. What bearing could it have later on? Jackson is on 9 yellows. I think there's it is cleared now, right? Yellow cards have been cleared, haven't they? When did the counter reset for Chelsea, guys? Why am I getting confused? So if Jackson gets 1 yellow, he's banned for 2 games, right? And he should have got a red against Arsenal. If not, he should have got a at least a yellow against Arsenal, but he's survived. I think the counter is clear. Jugs, I don't know. It's clear. Lighter says Jackson is clear. So it's clear, Jugs. Everybody can pick Jackson without the fear of having him miss 2 games. It was against Arsenal. You know, it was such a bad tackle, I'm telling you. It was such a bad tackle. And I don't know why it wasn't checked, I don't know, and why they did not give a red card. It was a borderline red. It was more a red than it was a yellow. But he's clear now. Jackson says, what's up, mate? Hey, mate. So we've got Jackson in the stream. You can just ask him about the 9 yellows, right? The book is all about, it's about investing and trading. It's mostly about trading, to be honest with you. It talks about the psychology side of trading. So he talks about doing what 90% of the people don't do. 90% of the people who actually trade in stocks or equities, forex, they lose money. 90% of the people, they lose money in trading. So he talks about doing what the 10% of the people do and 90% of the people don't do, going against the grain. So basically, it's simply about this small fact that trading is opposite to real life. So he says that if you go to a supermarket and you see a good deal, for example, you're getting off on your soaps or shampoos or toilet papers, you go and buy them, and you go and buy the whole stock for 1 year because you're getting 50% off on these things, which will come handy to you later on, and you're gonna have to buy them anyway. So when you go to a supermarket and you get a good deal, you buy this stuff, right? But he says trading is the opposite. Sometimes when a stock falls, people think, oh, it's now getting cheaper, I must buy it. He says this is the opposite of what you should be doing. He says only buy stocks which are going higher. Don't think that you're shopping in the bargain basement and buy a stock which is going lower, because it can go to zero. There is no bargain in stocks, he says. He says always buy something which is going higher, not going lower. And our mindset in the real life is such that we are always thinking to buy things cheaper. So people will say, all right, I like the stock at $50. Now it's 25. Why should I not buy this stock now? But you don't realize it's already fallen by, it's already fallen by 50%. So he says in the supermarket, 50% is great. In trading equities, forex, 50% is crap. He says don't ever buy stocks which are falling. So it's kind of about trading psychology. I don't want to discuss too much about it right now because we're talking about FPL really. But I will always, from this stream onwards, I'll always talk about a few books which I'm reading. I want to motivate all of the people coming to these streams to read more books and to read more about personal finance, guys. So if you can become more wealthy, you'll have a happier life, guys. So don't become rich, guys. Become wealthy. Becoming rich and becoming wealthy is 2 different things. Anyways, back to FPL, guys. Don't want to spend too much time. I can talk about these things all day long, but I don't want to right now. So I'm just looking through Twitter if I see any more news. Obviously, so Diaz is starting, Trent Alexander-Arnold is starting. Guys, Darwin is not starting. The news is coming out that Darwin is not starting. I'll actually show you so that later on when you send me messages abusing me or cursing me, you should know that it's not my news. Diaz, Trent, Virgil van Dijk. They are starting, says FPL Fokkel, and Darwin and Salah are not starting. Son captain for me, I think, was... I've been thinking about Son captaincy as well, CAV. I mean, Spurs will not make it easy for Arsenal. Never they are going to make it easy for Arsenal. They're going to try everything to stop... to stop them from winning. Alright, FPL Raptor has also posted a team. Diaz, Luis Diaz is starting... Cody Gakpo, Elliott, Gravenberch, Endo, McAllister, Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Konsa, Trent and Alisson. So this is what Gakpo starts, says FPL Tony. I still have Salah and Van Dijk and already used my sub for Darwin too. You mean you use your transfer, right? really doubt Spurs or Chelsea will keep a clean sheet. It doesn't make a difference, Marco. You need to have players which are going to... I mean, you can have Virgil van Dijk is starting anyway, so you can keep Virgil van Dijk, but don't keep Salah in your team. Take out Salah, take him out for a hit, because he's not starting anyway. Take him out for Son, or Bruno, or Kevin De Bruyne. At least get a player who's playing, right? I don't know. FPL Tony says Salah won't start. Anyways, I don't want to go through this. My Twitter in front of all the stream, so I'm just going to go jump the wave and show you the predicted lineups. So for Manchester United, it's pretty simple, guys. Salah for Foden or Son. Yeah, I agree with that. I like Son against big teams. Jackson is my cover for not going Palmer captain. That's fine, bro. Everybody's gonna have Jackson anyway, especially those who are in wildcard. FPL Jack says Liverpool are out of the title race. They can do whatever they want. That's true. Onana, Maguire, Delo, Van Bissaka, Kobe Mainu, Casemiro obviously starting in defense. Fernandes. People are not sure about Eriksen or McTominay. Other than that, Amad Diallo or Anthony, Garnacho and Rashmush, they're fixed to start. So United is pretty much the only is McTominay or Eriksen, if you ask me. Aston Villa, I don't know if anybody needs Aston Villa team news. The only confusion is, I guess, Diaby or Bailey, and Cash or Carlos. Everybody else is 100% predicted to start. This is the Arsenal lineup which they predict is going to start. So again, Trossard is going to start and Martinelli is going to stay on the bench. They think Gabriel and Saliba and Tomiyasu is going to start at left back, if you were wondering. I think Tomiyasu is definitely going to start against Johnson. I don't think he's going to put Zinchenko against the pace of Johnson. Hang on. This is the Spurs predicted lineup. So 51% think Kulusevski is going to start. 41% think Richarlison is going to start. You know, this is going to be interesting. Johnson 69%. I guess 39% think Werner is going to start. I think Johnson's going to start more than I think Werner is going to start. Everything else is common. By the way, Ben Davies is going to start. By the way, it was confirmed by Ange Postecoglou that Davies is going to start. Guys, if you can't afford somebody like Pedro Porro, you can think about going with somebody like Van de Ven. He scored a fantastic goal. You know, couple of games was it against Nottingham, I think. I think some may go Højlund or bench Jackson for Haaland. Yeah, I think so as well. And shall I keep Reguilon or sell for Maguire or Delo? If you keep Reguilon, you know, you're gonna have to. I mean, if you get Maguire or Delo, you're gonna get a double game week out of them. If you keep Reguilon, you're gonna get like 3 single game weeks out of them. That's all. I mean, you can keep Reguilon for this week and the next, and then sell before game week 37 as well. It's not Son or Palmer captain. It's the roll of a dice, mate. It's you guys tell me. I don't know about Son or Palmer. You guys tell me. What do you think? Let's go. Vote for it, guys. Take it away. Is double Spurs defense suicidal? Not necessarily. I mean, they're gonna get 2 games, Jugs. Even if they get like 2 points in each of those games, it still makes it 4 points. So no way it is suicidal, bro. Guys, take it away. Vote for it, all of you. I'll leave it to you. By the way, let's quickly go through the lineups so that we can come back and talk. So this is the Manchester City, by the way, if anybody's interested. So Guardiola 92%, Ruben Dias 92%, Walker 92%. The other position is like Ake 25%, Akanji 42%, Stones 50%. You know, it's like a minefield. But I think Ruben Dias, Walker and Guardiola are the most secure to start. If you ask me who's the most secure, I would say Kyle Walker. Then Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Foden, KDB, Alvarez. Haaland is 8%. According to the fans, there's 8% chance that Haaland starts. Viz, I'm unable to accommodate Bruno. Any suggestion? I would try to get Bruno Fernandes, mate. Even if you have to kind of go for like Dan Burn over Fabian Schär, I would tell me your team, Surfrose. I'll try to help you. Marco says, is it -8 worth taking out Haaland or keep him for the week? No, I would keep Haaland for the week, my friend. If you're taking out somebody for Jackson, I don't think it should be Haaland. I think you should keep Haaland. I'm actually keeping Haaland on my wild card. You know, so think about it. Cinema Crazy says Salah and Douglas to Gordon and Bruno Fernandes. I like that move, Cinema. I think this is good. I have a free hit, so it doesn't matter which I have out of Maguire or Reguilon. So which do you think is better for this game week? I think Reguilon is fine for out of the next 2 game weeks. I think Maguire and Reguilon will get similar kind of points. So if you have Reguilon, I think I would spend your transfer elsewhere. No, Salah is not starting. No. At least that's the news on the social media. Salah is not starting. Guys, by the way, if you don't have enough money to go with Gordon, you can actually double up on the Newcastle defense as well. You can go with Dan Burn and Fabian Schär as well. Salah to Johnson and Gusto to Porro for a -4. So Vajit, why don't you, like, Johnson is not, like, I mean, Salah is giving you so many more funds. I mean, why to go with Johnson? You know, that's my question. Do you need the money for a position elsewhere? Then I guess I understand. But why not go from Salah to Bruno Fernandes? I mean, if you want a double game week player, then obviously go for Son. If you already own Son, then yeah. I mean, if you want, you can go with Johnson. Then you're gonna have to book in another transfer, unless you want to compromise on Foden, Gordon, Fernandes, or Palmer. You know. I don't really like having 2 Spurs midfielders in there, especially with their doubles being so tough. The doubles are not easy by any stretch of the imagination. The doubles are so tough, mate. That's just very difficult. Guys, there's somebody. Just a second. Somebody's knocking my door. I'll be back, guys. I'm so sorry. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry, I'm back. There's somebody at my door and my family's not home, so I'm gonna have to go and answer it, guys. Sorry. Right, I'm back. So sometimes these crazy things happen. Right. So here's the poll. We've got 14 people voted, and you can see for yourself, like, between Palmer and Son. So most people are going with Palmer. If you want to go against them, that is totally fine. Will you get 15 doublers for bench boost 37? I think I will. CAV. I mean, I already have like 13. The only ones which are not doubling are Reguilon and Gabriel, and I will have 2 transfers, so I'm gonna get 2 free. To like 15 doublers for free. I might want to keep Gabriel, which is obviously a choice which I have to make at that time for game week 38 if I want Gabriel. But I think I will try to get 15 doublers, yes. Milo Taff says, Viz, would you sell Salah for Mudryk? I would not. No, my friend. I think Mudryk is not even... he's just not been playing well, bro. Why would you go with Mudryk? Have you seen him play? He's just doesn't have any confidence. Doesn't play with any amount of certainty in his game, you know. Hasn't scored in a while now. As I could say the same with Jackson, but at least he's getting into good positions. You know, once in a while he might toe poke one of them in. So yeah, I would not go with Mudryk, no. And says I have Foden, Palmer, Bruno, Son in mid. You already got the ones you need, yeah. So Foden, Palmer, Bruno, and Son, right? Isaac and Jackson up front. Is it worth benching Mateta for Gordon, who is my first sub? Yeah, I would bench Mateta for Gordon, yes. I mean, Gordon plays well at home and they're playing against Sheffield United. Last time they played against them, they scored 8. Would you support a Solanke to Isaac, Mateta to Jackson, and Salah to Son, Robertson to Cher, and a Saka to Fernandes for a -16? Lewis, to be honest with you, I would support... I guess I would support... This week, I would keep Saka. I would keep Saka against Tottenham. He's on penalties, so you can take a chance. I would keep Mateta. I would simply do Solanke to Jackson if you want, and Salah to Son. It's just -16 is never worth it, Lewis. I mean, unless it's a big double game week in which, you know, you're gonna get returns back. I think in this small double game week, -16 is a bit much. I think you can make do with a -8. Honestly speaking, I think -8 should be enough to fix your team. I would keep Saka in there. You know, I would possibly keep. I would do Salah to Son 100%. You know, but beyond that, I mean, Mateta to Jackson, not necessarily. Solanke to Isaac you can do, or just move Solanke to Jackson if you want a double game weaker. But it's a bit much in my opinion, bro. Both Haaland and Eze on my team are 75%. Do you think one of them starts, or is it worth taking out? I still have Solanke, but I feel he outscores Jackson with the form he's on. I would take Eze out if I wanted to. I mean, I think if anybody has a chance to start out of the two, I think it's Eze. Haaland, I feel, has less chance of starting. Although we've asked FPL Tony on Twitter, he's not answering. You know, he hasn't answered what he feels. So I'm not sure. I don't think Haaland starts this week. He might come off the bench, but I don't think he starts. Haaland to Watkins. I mean, Aston Villa playing is Chelsea at home. If you want to do it for one game week and then you want to go back to Haaland, it's fine. Otherwise, I'll just replace a bench option and play him in place of Haaland. Timo Werner, I'm not sure if he plays all the games, my friend. You know, because there's Son, there's Richarlison, there's Kulusevski as well. And after getting a drubbing of Newcastle, he might want to change a few things. I'm thinking to just make the move to Walker now from Gabriel on my wildcard. You can do that, CAV. I don't think that there's an issue. Triple City is much desirable at this point in the season. Jackson was impressive in the FA Cup game versus Villa, although it was nowhere near first. It's not about being impressive, it's about finishing, you know. He's getting into good positions, he makes the right runs. Even against Arsenal, he made a run where he actually, you know, stripped like Saliba for pace. He got to the byline, he tried to shoot, he does all the right things. It's just his shooting, his decision making is not spot on. Is not on at the moment. Start Maguire or 8 Nouri? Abhijit, they're both playing against relegation struggling teams. I mean, 8 Nouri plays against Luton, Maguire plays against Burnley. For the attacking threat, I might start 8 Nouri. And I feel that, you know, like, it's touch and go, but I would start 8 Nouri. Haaland to Watkins. I answered that already. Chances of Foden being rotated? I think very less. I think he's the pivot of the team right now. You know, he's where the team rotates. I think Kevin De Bruyne and Foden very less chances of being rotated because they don't have many fixtures left anyways. Just the FA Cup final in addition to all these games which they've got coming. So I would keep Foden. Afternoon, where's your thoughts on Son captain? Imran, I think it's fine. I don't think there's any downsides with captaining Son, you know, per se. I just feel that the fixtures are a bit more tough for Son than for Palmer, based on they're playing Spurs at home and Aston Villa away, as opposed to playing Arsenal at home and Chelsea away. So it's touch and go, bro. If you want to captain Son, go for it. Don't worry too much about it. Marco says thanks. You're welcome, Marco. Always welcome, bro. Raya or Onana on a wild card? I would go with Onana. Raya I would not, because he doesn't even have a single double game week, so I would go with Onana. It all depends on the structure of your team, but Well, personally, I would go. Actually, I do not really want to go with Rea or Onana. I'd say Petrovic, is I guess the better option because he's got 2 doubles as compared to Onana, who's got a single double. But out of the Rea and Onana, I would prefer Onana, bro. George says, hey, was glad to see you went with Trent Alexander-Arnold over Virgil in the end. I managed to get over 150 points. Oh man, George, that's insanity. I went with Trent, and that was possibly the only decision I got right because I benched Pickford, who ended up scoring 18 points compared to Dean Henderson, who got 5. I went with Saliba and Gabriel over Ben White, which ended up costing me. I went with Ollie McBurney over Brenton Diaz. Diaz was on the bench, who got 9 points versus Ollie McBurney's 2. So I guess all the 50-50s went against me except that Virgil van Dijk one. So it wasn't a good free hit for me. I got like 112 points. It wasn't really good, but I'm happy for you, George. I'm glad you did well, bro. Will Pedro Porro start? He's flagged by FPL. Abhishek, he's not flagged anymore. I think he should be fine to start. His flag has been removed. Just refresh your browser and smile. Maguire or Delo? I prefer Delo, but it depends on if you can afford him. He's like 1 million more expensive than Maguire is. And Maguire scored and assisted against, in the last game against Sheffield United. So it's not like Delo and Maguire have a lot between them, but obviously Delo's a fullback, so he does push more up. And he has a chance to get more assists as compared to Maguire. Joseph says thanks. You're welcome, Joseph. FPL Jack says not anymore. Abhishek, yeah, he's not flagged anymore. You're right. So guys, last 15 minutes, I would obviously tell you to lock your teams. The only news which we've got right now is Virgil van Dijk starts, Cody Gakpo starts, and Harvey Elliott starts. Salah and Darwin Núñez don't start. We also got news that Luis Diaz is starting. So this is what we have for news. Salah -4 to any Spurs mid alongside Son or Gordon. I would go with Gordon, G-Rid. I mean, if you want to go with any midfielder, I guess it could be Maddison. Maddison, in these kind of KG games in which Arsenal are gonna defend and Son is going to look to run in behind the Arsenal defense, I think Maddison could be a good option if Spurs are going to win against Arsenal. That's the only mid I would consider. I mean, Johnson is fine, but he's gonna play against Tomiyasu, so that way I guess Maddison could be a good option as well. Bishram says, who is the best forward for this game week? I think Isaac. Beyond Jackson, I think Isaac. Alexander Isaac, yeah. Marco says, I need a miracle to fix my team. I did Darwin to Isaac. I'm definitely going to do Salah to Son. Do you think it's worth doing Eze or Sarabia to Gordon or Foden or Van Dijk to Porro? I don't think it's worth doing Van Dijk to Porro. No, I don't think so. Eze to Gordon or Foden, I think it's alright. It can be done. But I don't think it's a must do or anything like that. But that is one move which can be done. Although I think just doing Darwin to Isaac and doing Salah to Son for a -4 is enough. CAV says thoughts on Guardiola. I think Guardiola out of the City defenders has the most attacking potential. I think he's pretty is one of the best attacking potential, but I think he might be rotated in one of the games. So if City's got like 5 games coming up, I think he's gonna be rotated in one of the games. That's the only downside risk, which I think with Guardiola. The only one which I feel is going to start all of them is Kyle Walker, because City don't really have a replacement. Yes, they do start Rico Lewis over there, but I am not convinced with Rico Lewis. So basically I think Walker starts all of them and Guardiola might be subbed in one of them. Need a miracle? My rank dropped from 3k to 22 in 2 game weeks. Not having a free hit last week was horrible. Marco, 22k is a wonderful rank. I know dropping from 3k to 22k feels weird and crap, but just look at people who will give anything to be in your position and try to play positively. Look at the glass half full and try to play positively, try to make positive decisions. having a negative mindset while being glass half empty will just compound your problems. Try to think positive, try to stay positive, and try to make positive decisions. You're having a wonderful season and a wonderful rank. Just be at it, mate. Don't allow your negative thoughts to compound your problems. Ake is a bigger threat to Guardiola than anyone to Walker. Yeah, totally. Dylan says, is the plan to prepare for the bench boost on 37? Yep, I've already prepared for my bench boost. I've got 13 double game week players. The only 2 single game week players are Gabriel and Reguilon, which I will replace possibly in game week 37. If I have to, I'll possibly keep Gabriel or Reguilon, one of them, but mostly I'll replace both of them. I'll have 15 double game week players in game week 37. Dilo and Garnacho or Maguire and Bruno Fernandes? Maguire and Bruno Fernandes, Zara. Obviously, you can look at my team. You know my choice. KDB or Bruno? KDB, Ikchot. I prefer KDB to, How sure is Petrovic starting both double game week with Sanchez almost back? Yeah, well, it's hard to call that one. I've seen many people actually ask me this question. When I see Sanchez playing, only then will I agree that he's back. Until then, it's just speculation. So if Petrovic is if I feel that Sanchez is back and Petrovic doesn't start, then I'll just replace him. It's fine. I've got free transfers. I'll replace him. Until then, Petrovic is in my team. There's no good alternative anyway. I mean, if you want to go with Vicario, that is totally up to you. But in the end, Vicario has got much difficult fixtures than Petrovic has. My overall rank is 300k. 3 lakh, you can say. I guess that's more suitable. So where were we? Yeah, so I don't think Petrovic has a problem unless, Pochettino categorically, just like Ange Postecoglou came on the press conference and told us Ben Davies is going to start. He just drew a line right there, but I don't think Sanchez is just going to come in without Petrovic making a blunder. He's been all right, and if he gets replaced by Sanchez, I'll just make a goalkeeping change. I don't care, For now, I don't have any other keeper to replace him. I don't know who plays for Brighton. They keep rotating between Verbruggen and Steele. I don't want to go with Onana, obviously, because I already have Maguire. I don't want to double up in defense. Start Saka or Haaland? I would start Saka, Sylvester. So Marco says, which 3 defenders should I start between Richards, Van Dijk, Zabarnai, Aït-Nouri and Gabriel? I would start Aït-Nouri. Who's the 5th defender? Rich, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So Richards, Crystal Palace obviously play against Fulham. It's a difficult game. Fulham mostly they score at home. Bournemouth also have a bit of a tough game against Brighton. I guess it could be Van Dijk, Zabarnai and Aït-Nouri, bro. Also, do you recommend I start Eze or Sarabia? I would start Van Dijk, Zabarnai and Aït-Nouri from your defense, and out of Sarabia and Eze, I would start Eze. I think I would start Eze. Yeah, he is yellow flagged. Then if he doesn't start, then Sarabia comes in for him anyway. I don't think he comes off the bench, Eze. I don't think he comes off the bench. Either he plays or he doesn't play, and if he doesn't play, then Sarabia comes in automatically. So yeah, I would go with Eze before Sarabia. Would you start Walker over Maguire? Yes, I would. CAV Burnley versus United. I mean, Burnley are going to try everything to stop United because Burnley are in a relegation scrap. So they're going to try everything to at least keep a clean sheet. Maybe grab a late winner from a set piece. I don't know. you know. But Burnley are basically a hot and a cold team. Sometimes they'll pop up with these performances, you know, like Sheffield. They went away to Sheffield United. They beat them 4-1. Obviously, it's not the same as going away to United, but slowly and gradually they have been improving their performances. They drew 1-1 against Wolves. They drew 1-1 against Brighton. They won against Sheffield United away. So they have been improving. Like they even went away to Chelsea and got a 2-2 draw. So don't think that United keep a clean sheet here. I don't think. Captain Jackson or Son as a differential. I would not captain Jackson. If you want to captain Son, I think that's... CAV says that goal plus assist from Maguire is tempting me. Hell, you can put Maguire in the... I'm not saying Burnley are not going to concede goals, but, you know, it's hard to know whether Maguire is going to be the one who is actually going to be scoring them. I'm starting Walker over Maguire. You can... I mean, it's in the balance, guys. I mean, it's not like Maguire's got a double game week so that you really need to worry about it. So, it's alright. Doesn't, guys, last 4 minutes. By the way, I'm gonna have to leave after the deadline. I'm gonna go and pick up my family, but I still have 4 minutes to spend with you. If you have any last minute questions, I'm gonna stop answering questions with 2 minutes to go because I don't want anybody to miss the deadline, right? Simple as that. So either ask your questions now or fix your teams. Plus United almost never keep a clean sheet. And United make everyone look like prime Barcelona, says Dylan. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I didn't like what Ten Hag was saying. He says we'll challenge for the league next time. We can get close to number 1, number 2. I mean, United are supposed to be aspiring for the title next season, not just, you know, like getting close to the number 1, number 2s. I mean, that's not what the United fans really wanted to hear. Not even sure if Ten Hag is gonna be there next season. Anyways, they're bad from set pieces is my only thinking. I think Forest can hit City on the counter and maybe score 2. City also don't keep too many clean sheets, but right now at the end of the season, you know, City become a different animal. So yes, I mean, there's not much to choose between Maguire. Walker doesn't get too many attacking returns, so I guess let's put the ceiling on 7 points for Walker. So if you think Maguire can match that, you can play Maguire, you know. It's not a very high risk move if you play Walker over Maguire over Walker, let's say. Get Gordon in for a -8 and bench Haaland. For who, Summonly? Who do you want to get Gordon for a -8? If you have, is it a playing player or is it like a non-playing player? Or for example, like a Salah. Quickly. A Share or a Burn? I would go with Share. Luis Diaz, I wouldn't take a hit to take out Luis Diaz and get Gordon, Summonly. Feel like more have United defend than City defense starting this week too. Yeah, I guess so, because many have an Onana as well, so that'll cover for the United defense and that'll give them points from the United defense. Even those people who've got Ederson, just like myself, they're benching him, so I guess less people will have City defender as compared to a United defender. I agree with you, yes. Surfro says, Viz, I managed to get Jackson, somehow had to take Haaland out for Alvarez, hope that's okay. Surfrose, I mean, it's going to be fine for this week. I think Alvarez starts this week, but after this week, I think Haaland comes back. So you might want to juggle your team once again. But for now, this is on. This is fine. All right, guys, I'm not going to answering any more questions. Go lock your teams. Bench Haaland for only 2 questions on Simon Lee and Neil Peterson. No more questions. Bench Haaland for Muniz. Yes, I would bench Haaland for Muniz, yes. Start 3 of Virgil van Dijk, Branthwaite, Reguilon, Nouri, and Gabriel. I would start... I would start Virgil van Dijk, Branthwaite, Reguilon, 8 Nouri. I would start Branthwaite, 8 Nouri, and I guess Virgil van Dijk. Palmer captain, Son vice captain. That's fine. That's fine. Guys, lock your teams, please. I am repeating once again. Lock it. Start Guardiola or Burn. Start Dan Burn. I'm refreshing my team just so that you can see my team. Guys, please lock your teams. I will start Dan Burn over Guardiola. Dan Burn. Lock your teams. Last 20 seconds to go. I'm not answering any more questions even if you ask me. Please lock your teams. Thank God. Zara says locked. We don't have Smelly Wabbit to give us the Zen call out anymore. He just doesn't make it to enough streams. We do miss him. Alright guys, it's deadline. It's time. It was a nice session, guys. It wasn't too many trumpets because I had fixed my team beforehand. That always helps, doesn't it? So guys, I'm gonna have to go and pick up my family, so I will not be able to do the predictions. But I would like to thank you all for being on this stream and spending your time with me on this wildcard. Juggernaut says it's done and locked. Cheers, mate. Guys, once again, I would reiterate, I will repeat, please start reading about personal finance. Please start reading books. Improve yourself as a person. It is much more wise to spend times on books than it is to spend times on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, scrolling through Facebook. Don't do it, guys. Read books, improve, get better as a person. Every week when you come to stream, I would love for you to give me some new wisdom, and you know which wisdom I'm talking about? I'm not talking about the conventional wisdom. I'm talking about this wisdom. So I want you to come every week, read some books, share some wisdom with us, and make us better people as well as improve yourself. So please work on yourself, read books, improve yourself, work on personal finance, grow wealthy. Don't aim to grow rich in life, guys. Grow wealthy so that not only yourself but your generations can also enjoy the fruits, and focus on things which need to be focused on. So guys, with this, I'm going to end my stream for today. Thank you very much for being on today's stream for me and spending your time with me. FPL Wizard signing out with the hope that all of you have a great end to the season, and may the arrows be green. Bye bye everyone. I'll see you next week for next week's deadline stream. Till then, have a great one.